Okay, that is the section of class 8. And thank God I finished well. And as I go back to when I was sick on my leg, I remember I went to a certain aunt, another aunt. And I remember going in that home, and the disease that I had, it jumped from me and it went to her son. Something was so weird to an extent that her son died. It went into him on 1994 December. He started suffering, going to different hospitals and using a lot of money, but eventually he died on October 1994 and 1985, I'm sorry. So I see the grace of God, because if somebody else can get it in the family and die, then God has privileged me. I know people, you may say that you have suffered a lot, you have gone through all it, or you have not gone through it all. Because God is letting you to go through it because He has a good purpose for your life. I remember when I was in the village, I remember I used even we would go to quarries and we want money, so we'll be working those section of quarries and on the side of ballast, because you need money. We don't want to mess around so that you have money, so we needed money. And I thank God after that life. It was so difficult for me, but I thank God I came out. That's the episode of the village. Now I thought, as a mother's daughter, I will go back to Nairobi. I will go to my mother in Nairobi. I remember I visited them once and I know where she was living, and when we get KCP resort, I remember that week I was free in the house, and I find somebody and I dig for their farm, and I get money to go to my mother in Nairobi. When I went, my mother had no problem with me, and my sister, the big sister, had a home. She welcomed me well because her daughter had nobody to take care of her, so she welcomed me as her sister and at the same time her maid. And I remember, if I made a mistake, they couldn't take it like it's the sister. She'll beat me up or shout to me as if I don't belong to that family. And at home, at least they rejected me, but the rejection that was in Nairobi was so hard, because in Nairobi there is no family, another family I know apart from them. So I would see my sister does not want me in her home, and my mother at the same time does not want me in her home. And my grandmother was acting kind of weird. She knew I was undergoing some things. I don't know, maybe she was the one who, like, I don't know, really, I don't know. And she would follow me in Nairobi, and I remember she would come and start saying, why are you mistreating her? Why is she going through this? Why are you behaving with the one child in the family? It's like she don't belong to you. And I remember her talkings didn't do anything. One thing that made my mother reject me, because every time we cook, she don't want me to eat. Every moment there is eating, she will start quarreling with me, talking nasty with me, telling me I'm just there eating and I'm doing nothing. I just finished my class 8. I am new to her in Nairobi, and she just started telling me about money. It's kind of weird. And I remember my mom, there was kind of a funny lifestyle she had. She used to go to these prophets. You know, these prophets in Kenya, there are so many. She used to go to one man, and what that man told my mom that we are like somehow our life had a knot, and to untie this knot, we will never, because I would wonder why my mother won't us to be married. I'm just 15 years. I just finished my KCPE, and how comes she wants me to have my own house and get married? I'm just like a teenager, and I couldn't get the story. And I remember she took me to those men, me and my sister and the other sister. I remember then I didn't want anything to do with a boyfriend. I had my own life that was bugging me, asking myself questions. I didn't have time for men. But I remember when we went to that man, he prayed for water and gave us water. And I remember we go shower with that water. Do you know what happened? The spirit of prostitution started ringing in our mind because men started coming. I remember I didn't have a boyfriend and he came. A man in the plot just started, oh, asking, oh, you're so beautiful, oh, blah, 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 I love you. Remember, in my life, nobody loved me. So you can imagine how I will react to see somebody telling me they love me. So I give myself in. We continue with that friendship, and my mother would see me with that man. And as a mother, and your daughter is a teenager, she didn't say anything. I was expecting she would scold me, or maybe she would tell me men are bad. So I was free. Whenever that man is talking to me, I'll stand on the road, and my mother will see me, and she's not asking me. And I say, it's weird. Remember, I was born again then from the village. Now I've come in the city. I started searching. I remember I searched for the Deliverance Church just once, and I didn't go again because I didn't like it. It's not like our village church. People are somehow spiritual. And I remember that day, let me say what that man preached. That is why I didn't want to go again. He said in the church there is fashions of every type. If you want to see nice clothes and beautiful women, come to the church. And I said, what is that? Is he preaching, or he's on the prostitution? What is wrong with him? Anyway, I didn't go again. And I remember we continued with this man. Eventually I get pregnant because you know about I was small, and of which in the midst of this one I noticed this man is a womanizer. So I told God, I wish you give me one baby boy with this man, so that if I will depart from him, I will be seeing the boy. And that is my prayer. It was my prayer. Sometimes be careful what you pray, of which I don't regret, because he was my son is the best thing that happened to me, even though he didn't come at the right time, but he was the best thing I got from God. I don't regret, never. But I will not tell you, girl, to have kids at that early age. No, wait until the right time come. Even my son, I talk to him like this. I tell him, wait until God time, because now he is 20. I thank God. Yeah, he's 20 years and he is in university. I thank God. I didn't come to brag. I'm just here to say the glory of God and thank him, because he wiped tear that was always on my in my tear. I thank God because I became pregnant and I keep quiet, and I didn't depart from my boyfriend because I'm pregnant. No, we just break up, and the next month I realized I'm pregnant, and I write a letter on him. I told him I'm pregnant, and he was furious, and he said this is not his baby. I knew it was his baby, but guess what? When I was with him, because of the water we showered with from the man of God, I had my boyfriend, but I still have other men, and I didn't know what I was doing. That is poison number one. That's a perversion of many people's problem. The servants of God has become something to the people of God, and putting some strong soul tie on them. Some soul tie which are unbreakable. If not for God's grace, this one I couldn't break from them. And I remember my boyfriend, we left the plot. We used to live together in one plot, and me and my mother, we moved out because she would beat me up. Sometimes she was beating me up and throwing me outside. I'm pregnant. I'll go. I'll search somewhere to sleep. Sometimes I'll sleep in men's house. Some will not touch me. Sometimes I tell them what I have been going through, what my mother put me through, and some will feel sorry for me and tell me, okay, just sleep here. In the morning when you go, just close the door. Okay, I remember I used to go from this place, people's house, and my mother is throwing me out, telling me, don't come in my house again. I don't want to you. You are a big woman. You can rent your own house. People of your age do have their own houses. And like now it's 1987. I'm growing. I was 16. And I remember, yeah, in 1987, January, I was 16, yeah. So, when did I get pregnant? On April or July of 1987, that's when I get pregnant. And from July up to where I had a baby, my mother mistreated me dearly. I was sleeping outside. I'll go. Sometimes I remember before I get pregnant, she took me and told me to take my bags. She was taking me to her friend, one of her rich friends, so that I'd be her maid. She don't want me in the house at all, at all, at all. The reason I didn't understand why, but she wanted me out of her sight. And unfortunately, her friend didn't took me in because her maid came back. And I come back. I was still, I think I was still pregnant, but I didn't tell anybody. But when the pregnancy couldn't be hidden, I disclosed to my big sister. I told her I am pregnant. She told me, why didn't you tell me before? It was 4 months. I could have aborted you. And I said, I didn't know, because the thing of abortion was not in my head, of which I didn't have this idea, because from when I was small, I loved kids. So, and then remember, this guy was so handsome, so I wanted to have a baby that looked like him. And I said, oh, so I knew I will have a very handsome, whatever, baby boy or baby girl, but my prayer was a baby boy. Oh yeah, thank God. And then when I was in the process of pregnancy, I remember meeting one of my ex boyfriend cousin. He told me, be very careful with your boyfriend, because when he was in the village, he came from a very rich family, and he's so handsome, and the girls were running after him, and I didn't like such kind of men.